A quick Google search of one of the best neighborhoods to live in Denver, Colorado will inevitably lead you to Capitol Hill. Now, Capitol Hill is one of Denver's most historic neighborhoods and one of the most coveted neighborhoods in Colorado. But why? Why do people love it so much? Today, I'll be talking about the pros and the cons of living in such a historic neighborhood so that you can decide whether Capitol Hill is the right place for you. Now, before we get into this video, I am Kareem Howard. I'm a licensed realtor with Gerlach Homes. So if you want to learn more about finding homes out in Capitol Hill, rent prices, different things like that, or maybe not even just Capitol Hill, maybe you want to learn about other neighborhoods in Denver, Colorado, then please feel free to reach out. I'll put my phone number, my email, and I'll put a calendar link all down in the description so that you can reach out in whichever way fits you best, and we can set up some one-on-one time and just kind of discuss what might be the best option for you. Now, without further ado, let's get into the video on the pros and cons of living in Capitol Hill. Now, Capitol Hill is known for its history. It's home to places like the Colorado State Capitol and also the Molly Brown Museum. Now, I did a lot of research in this video when I was looking into who Molly Brown is, because I'm gonna be real with you guys, I had no clue who that was. And upon doing so much research, I fell into a rabbit hole, and apparently she is the girl that survived in the Titanic. She's one of the people that kind of advocated to help all of the other passengers out.
I don't understand a one of you. What's the matter with you? It's your men out there. There's plenty of room for more.
And so she's a very famous person. She did so many other things in Denver, Colorado. If you want to learn more about her, I'd say do your own research. But it's a really cool place, and I think you guys would definitely enjoy it. Now, during that research, I fell into a really big rabbit hole of looking into who Molly Brown was. And apparently, for $25, you can recreate escaping the Titanic in the form of an escape room. It's 1:20 a.m., April 15th, 1912. You're locked in the bowels of the ship with your fellow third-class passengers as the Titanic begins its descent into the ocean. Can you solve the puzzles to travel from deck to deck and get on a lifeboat before the ship becomes fully submerged? If that doesn't sell you guys on Capitol Hill, I don't know what does. Now, obviously, you're not going to move to Capitol Hill just because it has some cool landmarks, some cool museums. But what this does kind of translate to is a lot of the homes are historic mansions. They're really cool places, really original. So if you are into classy older homes, maybe Capitol Hill is the perfect place for you. Now, this is going to lead me into my very first con, and that is the homes in Capitol Hill are very, very expensive. Let's take a look at some of these places. So there's this place that is listed for $2.1 million, 5-bed, 5-bath. And if we scroll through some of these pictures, you can see that it's a lot of original wood finishes. I think it's really cool. It's unique, but this is a very, very high price point. You know, we exit this, we go to another home in the area. This one's listed at $4.5 million. It's a lot of beds, lots of bath, but again, it's going to be historic home. And so I think it's just a different type of class of homes. You have to really want to live in historic homes to do it. It's really expensive price tag, but it's definitely something different. And if you are into it, I think this is a great place to go. But this also leads me into another big con, and that is there's not a lot of inventory out in Capitol Hill. You know, on a quick Zillow search, I found 4 places out here, and the cheapest one is like $730,000, and that's gonna be, I think this one's a townhouse, yeah. And so there's just not too much inventory. And what you are gonna find if you're looking for places out in Capitol Hill is that most of the places are apartments. If we look over at apartments.com, look at how many places are for rent compared to how many places are for sale, and you'll see that it's a pretty substantial amount. And so a lot of the people that are coming out to live in Capitol Hill are pretty much coming out to rent. They want to find a studio, a 1-bedroom, a 2-bedroom, and they just want to be out in the area, you know. But if you are looking to rent out in Capitol Hill, I don't think you're gonna have an issue finding a place. And I guess that could be a pro, could be a con. It kind of depends on what you as a buyer is looking for. Now let's talk about why so many people actually come out here. And that is because there's so many places to explore. Everything is extremely, extremely walkable. Now, within walking distance to everything, there's tons of restaurants, local bars, there's clubs, there's venues. So everything is within close proximity. So you can walk to anything. You can have so much entertainment by just walking, which is great. Now, some really big landmarks out in Capitol Hill that I think you should visit regardless on if you're going to live there. I think they're just great places to visit in Denver. Is Cheeseman Park is one of them. It's an amazing park. There's concerts that go on there, but you're going to see a lot of people just walking around, walking their dog, chilling with friends. If you're more of a not social person, you can kind of go there by yourself, read a book, listen to music, go on a walk, go on a run. There's just so many things you can do out there. I think it's a really beautiful park, and I think you should just take a day trip out here just to see it because it's amazing. Now, something else really close to Cheeseman Park that I think you guys would enjoy, and this is a little life hack if you do want to go on a day out in Capitol Hill, is take them to the Botanic Gardens. The Botanic Gardens is beautiful. There's lots of flowers, lots of scenery. And the last time I went, I think the exhibits were just really cool. I liked the Japanese exhibit, but there's just actually a lot to see. And even as a guy, I enjoyed it, and I think you guys would enjoy it. Now, a pro tip, as someone who's gone there before, I've gone there a bunch of times, is you can actually bring your own food and drinks out there. So you can have a picnic at the Botanic Gardens with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your spouse, whatever it may be. You can have a great time. Or maybe with your family, you can take your kids, have a picnic. It's honestly really cool, and I think it's really serene. You really enjoy the nature, and I think that's just another appeal of out living in Capitol Hill. Now, in doing research for this video, I wanted to look past just blogs, videos, news articles, things like that. I wanted to get some insider knowledge. And everyone knows the best way to get real public insider knowledge is you go on Reddit. And so I was browsing through Reddit forums, and I found what the people hate. What is the main problem that the people just absolutely despise about living in Capitol Hill? Now, I stumbled upon a Reddit forum that asked, what is renting in Capitol Hill like? And I was scrolling through the Reddit forum, and everybody seems to have the exact same problem. They all hate one thing about living in Capitol Hill. Jonathan Swift 5280 sums it up best. The parking is fucked. Now, everyone in this Reddit forum is talking about how bad parking is, but how bad can it really be? Everyone is saying that you cannot find parking at certain times. Even outside your apartment complex, if you don't have a deeded spot, parking's awful. If you want to go to a venue, if you want to drive anywhere, if you have friends coming over, parking's going to be the main issue that you're going to have. And I think there's a couple ways to get out of it. This is why Reddit's the best, because it gives you some insider knowledge like this. All you have to do, according to Sally, is put up orange traffic cones, and you have your very own parking spot. So yeah, the locals definitely have some insider knowledge on like how you can actually avoid these parking situations. But I think this kind of leads beautifully into my next pro, and that is you can just ditch your car. A lot of people that live in Capitol Hill ended up ditching their car, and I think since it's one of the most walkable neighborhoods and everything is within close proximity, this is the perfect opportunity to get rid of your car payment, your car insurance, car maintenance, tire upkeep, like everything. All of those can just be tossed away, and you're pretty much only paying rent or your mortgage, and you can just walk everywhere. And this might seem really hard to people. I was reading through a lot more Reddit forums just to see if it's genuinely walkable and like you can ditch your car. And it's a pretty good consensus, but a lot of people do end up ditching their car. The biggest issue that people are running into when ditching their car is getting groceries. And this person on Reddit says, seriously, I can walk to 3 grocery stores in under 10 minutes. But if this is something you do, definitely you got to get the grandma grocery cart so you can walk around, not have to worry about hauling like 60 pounds of groceries. Now, if you're one of those people that have been thinking about ditching your car in the first place and you just want a really walkable city, then Capitol Hill is going to be the best place to do it. I think all the grocery stores, the bars, the restaurants, everything's already in close proximity. You can get your steps in if you really want to, but it's just a great place to just live without a car, just walk around the city, be really healthy, and especially if your job is in the same area, you really have no need for a car and you don't have to worry about the parking situation. So in about 2 weeks, I do plan on actively walking around Capitol Hill and doing a full community tour. So subscribe and stick around if you want to see if it's actually as walkable as people say, see the shops, see what's local, and just see if it's a place that you might want to live. Now that is going to wrap up the pros and cons of living out in Capitol Hill. If you do have any extra questions on whether it's a great place to live, rent prices, home prices, things like that, then please feel free to reach out. I will put all of my contact information down in the description. I will see you guys in the next video.